Heavenly Hot Rods. That's the topic of our discussion in this update from Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert. In studio is researcher and author Josh Peck. His latest book is Cherubim, Chariots, Exploring the Extra-Dimensional Hypothesis. We've been talking about the extra-dimensional nature of this class of angel, but we haven't talked about their technology yet. Where do the chariots enter the picture in the Bible?
Well, we definitely see them with in Elijah's case. The chariots came down to take him up into the whirlwind. We also see them in Ezekiel, which we've talked a little bit about. But Ezekiel's chariot, the one that actually carries the throne of God, is a little unique. It seems to be actually made of the cherubim. It's a living construct. And we also see chariots in the book of Zechariah. And those, I believe, chapter 6, those are the ones that bring the horses in to bring peace to the earth. Which we see the antithesis of in Revelation 6, where we see the four horsemen that take peace from the earth. Okay. So that's kind of where they enter in the picture. We'll
talk about that in another update, I think, because there are interesting parallels there between Zechariah 6 and the book of Revelation. 2 Kings, the chariots of God that Elijah and Elisha see that are there to protect the Israelites against their enemies.
Yeah.
What is the? It seems there's a common thread there with the whirlwind. That there's always some meteorological phenomena or electrical phenomena accompanying these chariots. What do you think is going on here?
I believe that's an interdimensional portal. I believe that that's a way that they can use to get to our dimension, to a way where we could actually perceive them. I think a modern-day example of that may have been the Norway spiral back in 2009.
Oh,
because
yes.
It's the same type of thing. It's a whirlwind. You know, a lot of times when we think of whirlwind, we think of a tornado or a hurricane. But if we think of that on its side, you know, then I think we have something that's more accurate to what they saw back then and what we're seeing now, like such as the Norway spiral. I don't know if anything came through that or what the whole deal with that was, but it's the parallels are amazing. Just the descriptions when we look at biblical text of whirlwinds. So I believe it's an interdimensional portal that extra-dimensional beings and their technology can use to get to us.
Now, ufologists would look at these and say this is clearly an example of ancient astronauts visiting planet Earth, because why would a supernatural entity like an angel, cherubim, why would they need technology, a chariot, if you will, to carry them from place to place?
Yeah, and that is a question that comes up from a lot of skeptics. And, you know, my best answer is, well, we just don't know enough about their technology or how it works. You know, the only thing we have to base it on is our own. And we're not extra-dimensional. So there's nothing that says that they wouldn't need that. Now, I believe that there are times where they can just be here as they need, you know, as need be. There are times certainly in the Bible where angels have showed up and haven't needed any kind of chariot or whirlwind or anything. And then there are times that they do. So why that is, what I really could only speculate, but it seems like that there are times that is called for. So it's definitely interesting. But I would say, you know, to people who promulgate the extraterrestrial hypothesis, well, if aliens are so, you know, extraterrestrials are so advanced, why can't they just teleport here? Why do they need vehicles to bring them here? Because a lot of them will say that the vehicles can travel between dimensions. Why need the vehicle at all? So it's the same argument, just from a different perspective.
I see. Clearly, there are several examples in the Bible, Ezekiel being one, the transportation of Elijah to heaven being another. What parallels do we see in the stories from other ancient cultures of craft that seem to defy the laws of physics?
Well, certainly in ancient India, in the Mahabharata, but especially the, I'm going to butcher this, Bhagavata Purana. In the Bhagavata Purana, we get a lot of descriptions of vehicles called vimanas. And they even write in the text, this is ancient text, and it says that they travel faster than light and time, that they are controlled by, you know, they would refer to it as spiritual, but it's extra-dimensional beings. So it's definitely extra-dimensional in nature. A really good example is the Pushpaka, which was in their mythology, it was Vishnu's creation. So we see, when we look at the capabilities these things have, it wasn't just what we would assume, flying saucer or anything like that. It's extra dimensional. It doesn't seem to say anything about extraterrestrial or from another planet. It's definitely extra dimensional. Now, I don't take that for gospel or anything, but the mythology is interesting. I do think that people in ancient times did witness these things firsthand and wrote about it. So I tend to look at those as kind of more history than to get any kind of spiritual guidance from.
It's a fascinating book and gives you an interesting alternate perspective than one you've probably heard in church regarding some of these supernatural manifestations. Cherubim Chariots. Josh Peck is the author, and he'll be a guest on an upcoming episode of Skywatch TV. Keep watching. I'm Derek Gilbert.